In the year 2009, we send emails, make calls over the internet, and discuss topics we are taking interest in. Even our banking is going virtual. But what we take for granted today was only a vague idea of 50 years ago. In order to understand how we got this far, let's go back to 1957, when everything began. Before 1957, computers only worked on one task at a time. This is called batch processing. Of course, they said quite ineffective. With computers getting bigger and bigger, they had to be stored in special cool drums. But then, the developers couldn't work directly on a computer anymore. Specialists had to be hired to connect them. Programming at that time had a lot of manual work, and the indirect connection to computers led to a lot of bugs, wasting time and making developers angry. The year 1957 marked a big change. A remote connection had to be installed so that the developers could work directly on the computers. At the same time, the idea of time sharing came up. This is the first concept in computer technology to share the processing power of one computer with multiple users. At that time, the knowledge was transferred only by people. The developer planned a large-scale computer network in order to generate knowledge transfer and avoid the doubling up of already existing research. This network would become the ARPANET. Furthermore, three other concepts were to be developed, which are fundamental for the history of the Internet. The concept of military network by the RAND Corporation in America, the commercial network of the National Physical Laboratory in England, and the scientific network Cyclades in France. The scientific, military, and commercial approaches of this concept are the foundation of our modern Internet. Let's begin with the ARPANET, the most familiar of these networks. Its development began in 1966. Universities were generally quite conscious about sharing main computer. Therefore, small computers were put in front of the mainframe. This computer, the interface message processor, took over control of the network activities, while the mainframe was only in charge of the initialization of programs and data files. At the same time, the IMP also served as interface for the mainframe. Since only the IMPs were interconnected in a network, this was also called IMP's subnet. For the first connections between the computers, the network working group developed the Network Control Protocol. The NCP was replaced by the more efficient Transmission Control Protocol. The specific feature of the TCP is the verification of the file transfer. Since the NPL network was designed on a commercial basis, a lot of users and file transfers were expected. In order to avoid congestion of files, the sent files were divided into smaller packets, which were put together again at the receiver. Packet switching was born. In 1962, information system had a centralized network architecture. To avoid breakdown during attack, a decentralized network architecture had to be developed, which in case of loss of a node would still be operative. Communication still used to work through radio waves. That would have caused problems in case of an atomic attack. The ionosphere would be affected and the long wave radio wave wouldn't work anymore. Therefore, they had to use direct waves, which however don't have a long range. A better solution was the model of distributed network. Thus, long distance could be covered with the minimum of interference. Another milestone followed with the development of French network Cyclades. Since Cyclades had a far smaller budget than ARPANET, and that's also fewer nodes, the focus was laid on the communication with other networks. In this way, the term Internet was born. Moreover, in Cyclades' concept, during communication between sender and receiver, the computers were not to intervene anymore. They simply served as transfer node. Cyclades protocol went through all machines using a physical layer that was implemented into the hardware, providing a direct connection with the receiver, an end-to-end structure inspired by the Cyclades network and driven by the incompatibility between the networks. Their connection gained an importance everywhere. The phone companies developed the X.25 protocol, which enabled communication through their servers, in exchange for a monthly basic charge, of course. The transmission control protocol was to connect the computers through gateways, and the International Organization for Standardization designed the OSI reference model. The innovation of OSI was the attempt to standardize the network from its ends, and the channels division into separate layers. Finally, the TCP/IP simulated the preferences of OSI reference model and they way to the TCP/IP protocol, a standard which guaranteed compatibility between networks and finally merged them, creating the Internet. By February 28, 1990, the ARPANET hardware was removed, but the Internet was often running.